Doctors avoid that. Notice soon after, Atticus agrees to go with George to the town of Deverton. As he walked through the alley, you're going to notice a silver and black car. Remember, keep that in mind. As we go on, Atticus enter into the house and he go towards his book and he pick it up. Now mind you, this is important because it's coded. We know that Atticus is an avid reader. He loved to read. He loved to study. And this is the Count of Monte Cristo. You'll notice that this is based on a true story, right? And as you will read, it's dealing with him being originally incarcerated in prison and then freedom, it says. And then it goes to him finding a treasure. Now mind you, remember, Atticus has a secret legacy. A sacred, secret legacy. You see the connection? Pull that name up and do your research. Let's go to it. The Count of Monte Cristo is in connection to also Cristo is also Christos, which is the name for the anointed one, the Christ. Cristo. Anywho, is the story of the betrayal and love and redemption. The story follows Edmund Dantes through imprisonment. See that imprisonment. Remember I told you Atticus represent his journey getting out of prison, being released and traveling, and the connection to my understanding to someone else, whom I already explained to you, dealing with what I experienced in prison. You know, they say that women of sororities, that even men, says they got to walk through hot sand. You know, and walking through hot sand is dealing with initiation day. Remember, I was released from prison in sandals in the cold with no shoes and nothing on, in cold snow. Let's carry on. After the meeting, Abby Faria, the priest, while in prison, Dantes learns the location of the treasure of Monte Cristo. You got to be proper investigator. Notice you zoom in on the book, nothing being shown. On the right hand side is blurred, but as you zoom in on the left hand side, you can see that which stands out more is the D, but in authority or courtly was pretension, and however, but what caught my attention more, it says order, ceremonies, and then the name Villefort, and then the king, order and ceremonies. Listen, nothing else is being shown. You can't zoom in on nothing else to really grasp anything that's going to be legible. It's blurred out. See, people who put these movies together know what they're doing. You have to be a private eye, one who tapped in to investigate. This is like the second to third time that they showing him closing the book, placing his mother, their old portrait, or I should say old picture of him and his mother and his father on page 80 and closing it up. And they show him laying this book on the bed. You know, putting the 5 on it to show like as if the importance of this book of Count of Monte, and instead of saying the name, this time to say as if it's saying Christ. Because in essence, when you say Christ, the H is silent. Peep the signs. I never knew, man, but they building his family business. The building's so big. When he come around that corner, we'll go back. You'll see all these signs, images mean something. Even the colors, you have to pay attention because it's code talk. If you come around the corner, it's gonna be a black and silver car there. It's right there on the corner with a couple leads. When you come around, you're gonna see it's gonna say complete motor tune-up, right? Engine service, body work, all vehicle types. He's looking at the little red bone lady. She's gonna be bending over working on a car. That's his uncle's car. Peep the signs. Our family business is right there on the corner. We had a dealership my cousin Tony owned that I managed, right? Extreme Complete Auto. Man, I can't make this up. And it's also on the corner. Yeah, it was also on the corner. Man, the signs can't lie. This is before he entered into his apartment. He tells George to look at this. George blown back because he sees a real live sweat there. Catch it. Next to the lamp, the lantern, right where it say well, and next to well is the well, Ashland. Brought this to my attention. Look over. Notice how they have the A and the S in Ashley and Ashland, excuse me, darkened, and how they have the ham over the ass. The same thing she said. Get your ass up, and then over Atlas' head was ASS. And then they emphasize on the SS as he was walking away. You see? And I did the breakdown on my last videos regarding the name Ham. And this is why you have next on the end of Ashland, where the D is connected to the whale.
For states,
not Noah
was trapped in the whale.
Was it Noah?
How many days was he trapped in the whale? 3 days
Noah.
and 3 nights.
Jonah, one of the prophets. A whale of what? A whale of light. The D, the whale. And regarding to D, who happened to be the whale, is the reason why the lantern of luminosity is on the L and the E. Yeah, it's a lot of deep signs in here. Look at the codes right there in front of you. Look. The ham right there next to the ash, right? And it has a line that cut across. You know, it's a line right there that cut across through the ash. And then the giveaways is there. The hand is on 12 o'clock. So the message is pay attention and going around. You see. And then you will notice, you will see right here, right where it say Ra, the R on ready, and the A, Ra, it's talking about the brain to pay attention to. The Ra, remember I told you that's what's in your head? And then it goes down to the tree. You know, it's like, what's the name of that movie where they had all the codes in it? It's like it to the Da Vinci Code, but the codes are there because the wood is going straight down to the rock, to the brain, to the tree, and it's the opposite of the ash that's over here. You see, right where it say ham and then ash. And then there's a line that cut through the ash land to identify it as being ash. And then again, up on the ash is ham. All this is cold. It's coated. And pay attention real good. It's talking about the rose from the concrete, that rose, that royal rose. See? And going down and connecting to where it goes down to the tree, the rock. And it's telling you to read, to pay attention to the signs. Man, I can't make this up. Connected to the well, and that light in the middle. Okay, let's carry on. Now we'll notice when you start walking, right? Dig the leg. This is important, because why else would they show this? This is very important. This is key to those in the know. As you watch this series, you're going to understand. It's showing regarding Atticus and his uncle agreeing to travel, agreeing to take this road trip, and to show who's looking, who's watching, who's paying attention, and who is aware. And I never paid attention to this, but you're going to find this have its importance in the series, and how powerful that protection is on and around Atticus. Look over there in the corner. Imagery is everything. They catch everything at the right time. This red brick wall, and on the corner, they allowed to be showed this black and white tire silhouette by black and silver, with the connection of black and silver together with the car itself and the one over there on the end. Yeah, these were cold memory gems when they put it together. I like details, and that's it. Then he walks up to the house. Look, I can't make this up. As he opened the book up, it stopped on page what? Page 80. Next is 7 and 8. To go to that 8 again, as I was telling you. You know, it has its reasons, the reason why they stopping on 8. And then they show Atticus' dad, his mom, and a photo of himself. You can't tell me that when I'm telling you regarding him being out of prison that is coded, because this book is dealing with one who was in prison. Look, I can't make this up. Look, coming out they shop before they ride out. George saying, "Oh, that's right. Is it something that we forget?" He said, "Wait, it's something that we forgetting." And she said, "Oh, that's right. Dee's travel comic. It's talking about the book." Look, can't make this up. That's the comic book. So she's so futuristic. This young girl drawing images of a blue-haired alien, like goddess on the moon or something. Now this is deep. So as Letty goes to the hallway to use the bathroom, she catch the waiter, cashier, whatnot on the phone, talking to some heads, some Klansmen. And he said, "No, I didn't serve him." He said, "Not after what you did to Lydia, Miss Lydia." Now mind you, the restaurant that George said was Lydia's restaurant. So obviously those people on the phone, Klansmen, whoever, must have killed or did something to Lydia, because when they pulled up, they said, "I thought you said it was Miss Lydia." It's not Miss Lydia no more. What's important about this is because when Atticus asks, "Tell me the reason why the White House is white," he gonna say, because of the fire that happened in XYZ. This is important because what happened to Lydia, or Lydia's restaurant with Lydia in it, the restaurant caught on fire. This is key.
Remind me why the White House was white.
War 1812, you say. British soldiers put executive branch to torch. And later, when the slave rebuilt it, they had to paint, look, he said they had to paint the walls white. Right, carry on, check it out. Look, so what happened was, to cover up both the burn marks, they set fire to the restaurant. The same thing that happened to both our restaurants.
Yeah, Joyce, that's the good news, but this is all that is left of this building. You can see all of the damage here to the back of the restaurant. Now, this fire today happening just a few months after another fire at the other Ashley's Q. As these thick plumes of smoke billowed into the air, generations of a family's business went up in smoke with it.
This restaurant is everything. It was initially started by my dad's father, call him Pops. Okay, and after he passed, it was passed down to my father.
This Ashley's Q near 2nd and National is the family's second restaurant. Their other one here at 15th and Center caught fire back in November.
I'm very, very overwhelmed.
See?
Like I said, we've had a tragedy.
Somebody set fire to our grandfather restaurant, 15th and Center. That's why you'll notice the original picture. The white paint was over red and white over white. You see? And then it went from white to red. And then Ashley's Q was also set on fire. So we had two fires. The first one was the one on 2nd and National, which was there for 5 years. Someone set that on fire. And then the grandfather location, somebody set Ashley's Barbecue on 15th and Center on fire. Burn mark. Now this is key. Forgive the ceiling fan if you can hear that in the background. She gonna come in because she heard the message. She's trying to tell them to get the fudge up out of there, right? Then you zoom in. When he say that the business caught on fire from a fire, it's gonna say a business reply card. And it's held up, you dig, to identify what their business is. Business. See, the father is representative of our father. You see, my father, that is, who put all this here together, and my brother carrying the torch. And this is a reply, futuristic time travel to identify with this message about this business that caught on fire. Now she's saying, get your ass up. This part is important. And I go back because it was brought to my attention. Because the image showed, the camera start at this point exactly, right where you see it say ASS. Ass, right? He's gonna come around that corner, right? When they say that, it's gonna stay on that for a minute. These are codes. The same thing Liddy said, get your ass up. You see, because remember, all this is code. This is Ashland to identify as if it's to identify with ass as in being the ass. The name of this person, as in Ashley. Ash is the last two letters. See, now watch this. This is important. He gonna come around that corner, and it's gonna stay put. Look, come around that corner. ASS just brought to my attention. The ancient one brought to my attention that the reason why it stops here, it actually starts here, not stop here. that it shows at this point with the ASS, that it shows him by a tree when he come around the corner. See the greenery and how the ass connects to the tree, which is the name, what Ashley means. Ashley means of the ash tree, to identify that this is one and the same. And you'll see him come around that corner.
And it's gonna stay put. Look. Come around that corner.
Come around that corner. Right where his head is, where that tree is. They could have had him starting anywhere, but the connection is being shown. Okay, let's capture that. Watch what Tick say.
Didn't you say it's called Lydia?
He say, didn't you say it was called Lydia's? It goes to show you, they burnt that restaurant down. They burnt that restaurant down. That's why all these codes and these signs. Ancient ones brought to my attention that Lydia spells backwards, says said, without the ly being mentioned. SAID is said, and said means to say. So the ancient ones tell me to say the last two letters is as, and then the first two is lay. Ashley is the code, because once you say the four letters SAID said and the remaining letters, you're gonna get what's it's coded to say, Ashley. Was a delivering message. Remember, he pushed his feet over and he seen that that restaurant was on fire, and that the Caucasian waiter who's running the restaurant said, I remember what you did to Lydia. So they must have got rid of Lydia, burned the restaurant down, and renamed it. So the restaurant's under a whole new name, which confirmed that is coded to identify the name and code of the name of the last name in conjunction to the father and the son. So you get to say, get your butt up, let's get the fudge out of here, let's go, let's move it. But the key word, get your ass up. And the subliminal message was already placed over Atticus' head when he came around a corner by that black and silver truck. And it said ass. And then here you go, she say, get your ass up. And then with the Grim Reaper showing by the lantern, the light of Lucifer, triangulate inside of the lantern, it says well, then next to it says Ashland. Because in essence the name Ashley is named after the ash tree. But when you research it, the history and Freemasonry, it shows you and tells you that these named Buckingham, Winchester, Buchanan, and Ashley was named after the high priest of the king, and later they named streets after them in veneration of them to identify their names representing high priests. And here's the business cards that I designed, as well as our website, our web page. The Stream Complete Auto and Care. You tried the rest, I drive the best. I sold so many cars, I could have ran my own dealership. Extreme Complete Auto and Care. Assistant Manager, you see it, Amir Aminel. Page I designed for our business. The vehicles that were sold. You see the year, 2014. 2014. Yup, 2014. I was telling you, gotta pay attention. Go download Cinemax and start watching Lovecraft so y'all can catch up. Do not watch this if you ain't watched any of the previous breakdowns. You're gonna get lost in the sauce. Remember I was telling you about that silver car that's coming? Now dig the lick. Now ask yourself, for those who seen and watching this and saw, this silver and black, tinted out silver and black car? How did this vehicle or whoever in it know? You gotta watch the movie. The series, let's go. Look, this is important. Now, while they're being shot at, guess what's gonna happen? Look. Look. What ended up happening? It's to show on how Atticus has forces watching and protecting over him. Atticus then called this force, this entity, to assist him and help him. That's because they already aware of what's happening in his life. They pay attention.
T-bone on the left-hand side.
He's cozy here for a reason. Because as you watch on, you will see that there's going to be a barrier, a hidden barrier in a realm that's going to stop that car from following them, just to show the protection that one had. Something pushed her phone off and she was looking shocked like, did you see that? That kind of look. But the giveaway tells it all. From the gods through the gods.
Spirit ghost pushes her phone down.
And whoever in this vehicle can't give it away. You gotta watch it. It's to protect Atticus and them from being from being shot, from being killed. Look.
Stay tuned for part 5 on Lovecraft.
It's to show
Decoding.
Atticus.
And be sure y'all download, hit that notification bell, subscribe.
Atticus then called
for future
this force, this entity,
on part 6
to assist him and help him. That's because they already aware of what's happening in his life.